Dear lecturers and staff of Summer University, it is with my pleasure to welcome all of you guys to tune in to our discussion regarding the topic of technology and its drive on Malaysian national unity. My name is Sibing, and today I'll be your host tonight for this session, which my team will be focusing on Malaysia's implementation of digital technology and how it has impacted on the dynamics of social cohesion in the nation. From the way we work, the way we learn, and the way we connect with each other, digital technology has revolutionized the way we do almost everything. And at this point, it's almost impossible to imagine what life would be like without digital technology. Well, you see, try to compare the reality we have today to the reality that we had before we had these technology. Imagine how work were comparatively less efficient and slower due to the lack of certain equipment such as computers, smartphones, and basically the ability to do things like sending an email or texting. And basically, everything has to be done on paper or basically less efficient methods. And it was also quite hard to learn because when you had to research on something, you're gonna go to the library and you're gonna spend countless hours just to search for one particular book. And it is also difficult to connect with each other, especially when especially when friends and families are distance apart, and especially when they're overseas. And the only way to connect is through telephone or sending a mail, which could take a much longer time or it is quite expensive. But imagine, but not imagine, but we have it now. We have it today. The life that with digital technology, work becomes more and more efficient with the use of tech like computer, smartphone, and access to the internet. And it is also easier to learn now due to the use of AI and internet. Now we have vast amount of information on just a few clicks of buttons. And it is easier to stay connected now because of the access to social media. And people can eventually stay connected even though they are distance apart. And because of this, this has also allowed for more and more global cultural exchange between different nations, different people, and different cultures. For another example, businesses, especially of the SMEs in Malaysia, small to medium businesses, especially the e-commerce industry, logistics industry, also other services sectors. They're so integrated with the internet. Without it, there simply is no way to make sales, make marketing, and make operations because everything is so connected to the internet. And another way that we can see this of the impact of tech in our daily life is that notice that smartphones is already our necessity rather than a sort of luxury. Without it, we won't be able to do a lot of things, such as be able to make payments for example, touch and go e-wallet, QR pay, and it is also difficult to stay connected to family and friends as especially outside you need your phone to be able to contact your family and friends. And not only this, beyond the convenience and the efficiency, digital technology has also transformed our social cohesions in the nation, particularly in the plural society of Malaysia. It has greatly changed the way people from different backgrounds, different culture, and different language interact and engage and connect as a nation. You may see this during the National Day Hari Merdeka celebration, where people from rural parts who previously had no access to participate in this celebration are now able to because of the use of social media. And now they're able, for example, they're able to witness the celebration, such as the uh, National Day parade on the internet. And we also have witnessed the solidarity of the nation amidst crisis. So we can imagine, we can think of this back in 2021 during the flood season, where people who are in flood crisis, they were able to post on social media, and people were able to reach out to them, with especially the NGO groups who are active on social media. And with the technology, it has also brought more and more cultural exchange. So with social media, people from different backgrounds and cultures are now able to engage with one another now, and they are now able to understand each other's cultures. This has led to a better empathy for the nation. Yet at the same time, digital technology has also brought upon a few concerning issues that may have impacted on the social cohesions. So we may see this in how there is a digital divide in the nation that is divided according to different areas. So in rural areas and urban areas. And we also see a data privacy and security issues. And this could be security issues for especially companies and etc. And there is also a use digital dependency and mental health issues such as social media addictions. And we also see a issue of misinformation and hate speech. Especially, you can see the fake news that we have today, and other hate speech comments that are prevalent on social media. And lastly, you also can find cybercrime and fraud, especially the scammer problem that we may have today in our society. Therefore, the question of the day that is left for us to answer is how must we ensure that technology can serve as a tool for unity rather than division? So, therefore, without further ado, let's begin the discussion. Now, let's welcome our team member now presenting on the issue of digital divide.
I would like to address a pressing issue that significantly impacts our nation's progress: the digital divide. The digital divide refers to the unequal distribution of digital resources, particularly between urban and rural areas and across income groups. This disparity limits access to information and opportunities in the digital economy. In Malaysia, nearly half the population lives in rural areas where poor telecommunication infrastructure and lower income hinder adoption of information and communication technologies. The income factor remains a major barrier to connectivity. This divide deepens social inequality and weakens national unity, as many lack equal opportunities to engage in digital communication, education, and economic activities. If unaddressed, it will continue to hinder national development. Pulau Bamban 7, Telekom Malaysia implemented free-space optical communication technology, providing high-speed internet to a remote area. This project serves as a model for expanding digital access in underserved regions. To close this gap, strengthening digital infrastructure is key. The Agenda Lab plan aims to expand affordable and reliable internet access nationwide, ensuring digital inclusion for all Malaysians. Bridging the digital divide is about empowerment, not just access. By investing in infrastructure and inclusive policies, we can create a more equitable society, drive economic growth, and strengthen national unity.
Next up, we have our team member Shaim presenting on the issue of cybercrime and fraud.
Hello and welcome. Today I'll be talking about cybercrime and fraud and the impact it can have on societies and countries. First of all, let's look at what cybercrime actually is. Cybercrime is a criminal activity that either targets or uses a computer network, or a network device. This can be for either financial, personal, or even political reasons. Cybercrimes are usually carried out by highly skilled individuals or organizations who use advanced techniques in order to hack into the computers. However, cybercrimes can also be committed by amateur hackers too. Now, let's look at the impact cybercrime can have on individuals, businesses, and society as a whole. The impact of cybercrime can be devastating on individuals, businesses, and societies. For example, individuals can suffer from financial losses, identity theft, and even emotional trauma and reputation damage. Similarly, businesses will also face financial losses and reputation damage. They may also lose access to their intellectual properties, and also business trade secrets may be lost to these hackers. Society as a whole can also have disastrous consequences because of cybercrimes. Individuals may lose confidence in online transactions and even in the government. It also leads to less industry innovation, and competitiveness among businesses will also be very less because of cybercrimes. The impact of cybercrimes can be seen on the 2017 WannaCry ransomware attack. The hackers targeted a weakness in Microsoft Windows which allowed them to hack into computers and encrypt important files and documents. As a result, people were unable to access these important files and documents and even their computers. One of the majorly affected parties in this attack was the NHS hospital in UK, who were primarily using outdated equipment in their hospital. Because of this, they were unable to operate critical equipment such as the MRI machine, and they even ended up having to shut down their emergency room because of this attack. The entire attack was responsible for worth more than billions dollars in losses and damages. Now let's look at ways you can protect yourself from cybercrimes. Keeping your softwares and operating systems up to date is a very crucial step you can take in order to protect yourself. Do not open attachments on spam emails, as hackers primarily use this method in order to hack into your computers. Also, making sure to keep an eye on your bank transactions is very important because it's easier to minimize losses if the hackers are caught early. Using strong passwords and two factor authentication and using antivirus softwares will also help in minimizing damage and even preventing cybercrime for yourself. That's all. Thank you for listening, and I'll hand it over back to the host.
Next up, we have our member Katina presenting on the issue of misinformation and hate speech on social media.
I'll be presenting about the misinformation and hate speech on social media. So, in Malaysia, the rapid spread of misinformation and hate speech has been an increasing concern, providing several impacts in which it targets multiple ethnicities as well as religions. Malaysia has a population that is made up of Malays, Chinese, Indians, and indigenous groups. This impacts the social harmony of said ethnicities, also leading to the exploitation of political parties in which they use social media platforms to share their messages, rally their supporters, and respond to conflicts. Social media platforms such as TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram are known to lead to multiple misleading pieces of information, indicating the lack of research and empathy. For example, the creation of fake news during elections, like fabricated scandals, may create to the loss of trust in certain political parties. This leads to the higher chances of racial conflicts due to hate speeches that target specific groups and religions, which in return increases the social division in Malaysia. In order to overcome this issue, it is suggested to improve digital literacy, especially in the education system, by providing the necessary information to evaluate and identify false statements and discourse. Moreover, it is also important to educate students on the differences between facts and opinions using specific sites that are known for fact checking, such as MyCheck Malaysia and Sebenarnya.my. This helps reduce the escalation of real world violence and discrimination, which may lead to the start of mob violence or even vandalism of places of worship. In educating the young generation with the knowledge to differentiate and tackle misinformation, we are able to create a more well informed and united population.
Next up, we have our member, Siriakorn, presenting on the issue of data privacy and security issues.
Next, data privacy and security issues. Data breaches and cyber attacks. Malaysia has witnessed several high-profile data breaches, including leaks of personal data from government agencies and telecommunication companies. Cyber criminals exploit weak security systems to steal sensitive information, including names, IC numbers, and financial records. Next, lack of strong data protection enforcement. Although Malaysia has the Personal Data Protection or PDPA, enforcement remains a challenge. Many organizations fail to comply with strict security measures, leading to a data misuse and unauthorized access. The PDPA also does not cover government agencies, creating potential loophole. Third, rise of phishing and scam. Cyber criminals use phishing email, fake websites, and scam calls to trick users into providing personal data, such as SMS fraud. Social media impersonations have increased. Next, weak consumer awareness. Many Malaysians are unaware of data privacy risk and do not take necessary precautions such as using strong password, enabling two-factor authentications or verifying website before sharing personal detail. For the solutions and future steps, number one, strengthening PDPA, expanding data protection laws to cover government agencies and introducing stricter penalties for data breaches. Second, improving cybersecurity infrastructure, encouraging businesses to invest in advanced security systems, encryptions, and AI-driven threat detections. Last one, public awareness campaign, educating citizens on how to protect personal information and identify cyber threats. Thank you.
Next up, we have our team member, Swan Ted, presenting on the issue of youth digital dependency and mental health issues.
Hello, I would be presenting the issues of dependency on youths and the mental health problems that arise from it. So I would like to start with a definition of digital dependency. So it occurs when an individual becomes extremely reliant on digital devices such as smartphones, tablets, and PCs and causes disturbances in their daily routine in education, work, or relationships. There are many signs and symptoms relating to digital dependency. They include behavioral signs, such as constantly checking your phone and ignoring responsibilities, or a loss of interest or concentration. There are also mental issues, which like anxiety, frustration, and anger when an individual can't use their digital devices for a long time. And there are physical issues as well, which include sleep deprivation, weight loss, and loss of appetite. Because of digital dependency on youths, there are several consequences on family and society. So, family values ingrained in cultural and religious traditions are now threatened because of digital devices and gadgets. And youths may not be able to perform social interactions effectively. They may not have the right social cues to perform effectively in society. Youths may suffer from various mental health issues that stem from excessive online use. I would like to talk about an incident that involved 15-year-old Alaya. So, what happened was Alaya experienced stress and anxiety due to cyberbullies who mocked her appearance. So, an intervention was made with help from her school counselor and attempts to decrease her screen time. Alaya regained her confidence and self-regard. So from this case study, we can find some solutions for youths in the future. So parents can implement online free zones in homes and encourage more open conversations about internet experiences to build trust. Schools and other communities can introduce more offline activities to help youth develop their social and emotional skills. Getting educated on the digital world can help youth prepare the challenges they might face. Counseling services for struggling youth by non-government organizations. As an end note, I would like to say that the future of Malaysia depends on the younger generation. So by identifying the problems and bringing up solutions, the young people of Malaysia will be able to thrive both online and offline.
Thank you all for listening to our discussion, and we would like to welcome your insightful comments on these issues.